Welcome out, everybody. Today is March 6th, 2023. My name is Chris Tremont, aka the Real Binary Master, and I wanted to go over, guys, some break and retest, okay? Now, as traders, break and retest is something that we should all understand before we actually, understanding market structure and understanding break or retest is just a part of trading, right? And if you're gonna be a trader that is reliant on, or not reliant, but maybe just utilizing order blocks and imbalances as a part of your strategy, your trading strategy, then it's a good idea for you to understand how the market truly moves. What areas are more important and what areas aren't as important. So on this session, I hope that after we're done, you have a better understanding of the market's movement and are able to clearly see break and retest happening in the market, because it happens over and over again on different time frames, all time frames, over and over again. And I'm going to show you that just now. So for example, Euro GBP here, let's go to a hour time frame. Sure. We're just going to deal with the information that we have in front of us. Okay, we have our low here. It looks like we start creating some higher lows. Started creating some higher highs here. We have yet to create a higher high here. But overall, we can see that we are in a uptrend. Now, as we look at this, all this data, all this information, these candles, as we look at these candles, we're going to analyze it the best our ability. We're going to mark up what we see, where potential areas of interest could be, where high probability areas could be, based off of utilizing market structure and a simple break and retest strategy, along with understanding order blocks and imbalances. Only going to make this hit at that much higher of a win rate for you. So with that said, we can see that we are in an uptrend. Yeah, price is in an uptrend. Now, within this uptrend, there's going to be some levels. And we can see that this area here kind of acts as a resistance. And yep, wicks. Let me change the color here. Get a little bigger so we can see it. Could even take it up a little bit to cover a little bit more of the candles. Do want to have the wicks in there though. It's important, because although price action did close above here, we can see that it did not sustain itself before dropping hard, creating a lower low here. So now that we've looked to be rebounding from this low, we can see that this area here is a significant resistance area. Yes or yes? Price action has come up here. Once it broke this area, price came back up, rejected. Price stayed beneath this whole area until it came over here. Price came up into this area and got rejected. Rejected, rejected, rejected. And then we started getting that massive drop. Yeah. So understanding this and understanding that this area is potentially an area of interest that we're going to want to pay attention to when price action comes back in the future. Now, this is also a resistance area, or what we would call a top, right? So this is going to be our structure. This is going to be part of our resistance. Our resistance structure here. Now, just make sure. When price action breaks a significant resistance like this, we're not just going to want to get in and buy, right? We're just not going to want to buy this move. There's no real reason to get in, right? We don't have confirmation to get in other than we are breaking a structure, but we want confirmation. We want to see a retest with potential rejection, with potentially maybe a bullish engulfing candle at the bottom of the trend, something on the smaller time frames that are giving us a clear indication we're starting to see some rejection and price continuation could go in the continuation to the upside. So what do we have here? Again, we just said that. We have a clean break of structure from this bullish green candle here, has now broke this resistance. So in the future, okay, when this price action comes all the way back to it, we're going to be looking for potential buys. Now, when you have something as unique as this scenario happen here, this is called confluence. I'm going to write that down here. Just get rid of the text. Confluence. Okay. Now we have confluence here, and the confluence is, if anybody could tell me in the chat, it would be awesome. For those of us that are new, take a look at this. We have our support retest area meet our uptrend support zone. Okay. What I mean by this is we already understand this as a support area, potentially a support area for this uptrend move. We have this area as our retest slash resistance, now going to be turned into our support potentially. And as we can see, when we zoom in this area, price broke structure here, came back, went away, came back up, and then came all the way back down and started retesting this area here. Now, confirmations to get in this buy. Numerous confirmations, ladies and gentlemen. We had numerous wick rejections off the double support area. You may hear X marks the spot before. Well, X marks the spot here as well, ladies and gentlemen. And the X is right there. So our entry should have been right there. And if we got in that entry, as we did, and we took this bad boy up, as we did, we were well over 60 pips in profit. In fact, we had a much better entry than that because at our highest point, we were up about 80 points. So we actually caught a super sniper entry on that Euro GBP. Don't believe me? You don't have to. The video is in TradingView, right? I'm going to show you now. And that's what I mean. You don't see if I can, let me pull it up. Uh, not going to play the sound, just going to look for the Euro GBP setup just to show you what entry we got when we were looking at it. Okay, Euro GBP was at 452 here. Let's okay. So Euro GBP was 452. See where that was at here. Different broker, but going to be similar. Oh, this is Euro USD, my bad. So we got in right here. And I'm going to show you why we got in there. Because we just looked at the hour time frame and seen the clear break and retest. But while I was analyzing the 15-minute time frame, I also noticed something very similar. But a nice structure here. It was a little higher up though. So we took a little bit early of an entry. But it's still price pulled down to the trend line, which we had all this additional support here. So that's why our stop loss was, beneath this, beneath the trend in case price wicked within that region, we wouldn't get stopped out or stop hunted, and then price rallied to the upside. And we're still in this trade and still moving to the upside. Now, our next area that we're going to want to see, we're going to want to see something like this, right? This is going to be our resistance zone. Okay. And we're going to want to see price pull up here, come back, retest this area, maybe come back again. Okay. So we might see something like that, right? Where we have price break structure, push up to a resistance, push back down to our support. As long as price holds the support here, as well as it held the resistance in the past, like it did here and here and all the way through here, then this area will be a strong enough support to look for additional buy entries from. Now again, if we extend this out to the right, we have another confluenced area here. So if there's an opportunity to buy within this zone here, within this zone right here, we would look to take that buy, right? So for example, say price something like this. Price consolidates within this zone. We get rejected off at the top zone, the resistance. Again, pull back up, rejected, and then come all the way back down to the support. Now, when we're at this support area, this is where we're going to be looking to take a buy trade. And the way that we're going to play this is obviously we're going to want to cover a potential wick out. So yeah, we're going to want to cover our wicks that we see here, but we're also going to want to clear these wicks here to the left of this structure, which that does. Boom. So we would have a 17 pip stop loss for a potential 30 pip target. Okay. Almost a 102, 1.18. Not the greatest risk to reward, but it's a decent setup and I would take it all the time. And check it. If you want to trowel, right? Like I said, if you want to trowel, this is TP1. And then if you're looking for additional targets, this is how I personally look for additional targets. When we have the Fibonacci trend extension, trend-based fib extension, I go down to the 5-minute time frame and I'll look for the most recent move like this where you have a low, high, a low. Then we can see where our potential target areas are, right? We normally do the most recent one, so let's see if that makes a difference here, which would be this one, up, down. So here's our potential targets. Wow, what a crazy, you can tell I've been doing this for a while, huh? We actually have a consolidating zone between a significant area of interest, which it would be the 1.272 and the 1.618. The 1.1618 is the significant area of interest for a potential target in an upside move, okay? So 1.618s are going to be our targets and potential buy trades. And as you can see, we enter here. Where are we targeting? No coincidences, guys. We're targeting this zone. This zone is a 1.618 zone. No coincidences. So with all this confluence, you have to ask yourself, when price comes to this area, if it does come to this area, is it going to be a good trade? Yes, it's going to be a good trade. So we have our setup, we have our trading plan, and we're just waiting for a potential market to come in and do it up, right? Now, we can have that pending, but also if we anticipate market to push up to the closest resistance, after breaking this resistance here, then yeah, we're going to enter buys when we can get that retest. And if we get the retest on lower time frames, on the 5-minute time frame, it happens, right? We can take the trade. So for example, we have a 5-minute resistance here, just like we do on the 15-minute time frame. But as we zoom in, we also notice, let me get rid of this big X. We notice that we also start to see other areas of potential interest, right? So we notice that we have a support here, acted as a minor resistance here, again, acted as a support. Once it broke, it dropped. So this is a significant area of resistance / support where if price comes to it in the future, we could potentially see a reaction. Or if price breaks that structure, price comes back and respects that area, that could be our retest area for look for a potential buy. But let's zoom in even closer to what we're looking at right now, right? What if we're just looking at this area here? We can see that we have a structural here. We have price act as a support on this side, price act as a resistance here, again, act as a resistance. And then once price started breaking up to the upside, price came right back. And this is what you call the retest, right? This is the break move up. This is the pullback down for the retest. Now, when we look at the retest, remember, we're looking for rejection candles, dojis. We're looking for bullish engulfing candles, order blocks, right? What do we see here? We see a series of wick rejections, one after another after another. So you might have missed the sniper entry, but after you see that wick close, you're getting in that trade, a little bit of pullback, and then you're off to the races. TP1 is 10 pips. Remember, we're scalping. TP2 would be 20 pips, and you would target it, so on and so forth. As you can see, price pushed up all the way to the upside up here. Now, if you're trailing these trades, right? If you're trailing, have a trailing stop loss, your stop loss is going to be below the breakout level, right? You're not going to want to put it at the breakout level because if something like this occurs, you don't want to get wicked out, right? So here we had an increase, price rapid, took a little while to increase. Then we had a sharp decline. Now, when we had this sharp decline, something interesting happened again, ladies and gentlemen. What happened? Again, we have a break of the structure from the past. Price came back, retested it, then pushed up and away, created a higher high. Well, this price action said, I'm not sure if this is strong enough support and I have enough oomph in me to take it to the next level. Well, take a look. Price wicks right down into this zone and says, I don't want nothing to do with it. And the bulls come in and take this price to the moon, ladies and gentlemen. So as RFX, as binary options traders, this can be very valuable for us because, take a look. If we have an area of interest at this level here, say this candle, for example, if this candle was a bullish engulfing order block, let's go to the 15-minute real quick. Oops. Okay, 15-minute time frame. Here we are. Boom. What do we have here? I'll just highlight it with a box. We have a engulfing order block. Is this at or near our retest level? Well, our first break of structure is down here. Our second break of structure is going to be this area here. But it doesn't hold, right? Price didn't respect this support. It came down and touched this support and then pushed up. Now, however, this area acted as a resistance here. It got rejected. Price pushed down. Price came back up, got rejected again. Price pushed back down to that support, came back up and got rejected again, believe it or not. And then finally breaking through with this candle that we see here. So now we have price action breakout of our next area and price is pushed up. But have we got our retest here? No. Let's draw our box up. So the way I draw my box up is I mark the top of the breakout candle to the bottom of the breakout candle. And when price action comes back within that region, we get in for the buy, right? If we see, the confirmation, or if you want to get an early entry, you get in, small risk. If you get rejection, or say you see on the 5-minute time frame, if you're scalping, then you're going to be using the 1-minute time frames like we would be on binary. So let's go to the 1 minute real quick. And what we're going to be looking for is once we break that area, right? Price broke structure, price pushed up, price come back here to retest this breakout. If we have confirmation, we're going to look to get in for a buy. Now, take a look at this, right? We have a minor wick rejection followed by a doji wick rejection. And then we have a bullish engulfing order block on the 1-minute time frame. Ladies and gentlemen, this is enough confluence for me personally to get in for a buy. Now, we would have entered this trade at the completion of this candle here, and then we'd have been in the trade for 3 minutes, right? So 1 minute, 2 minute, and 3 minute. This would have been a winning trade. It would have pulled down towards the end and then closed back up at the end of the 3 minutes. It would have been a good trade, guys. Now, what does that look like? From the 5-minute down to the 1 minute? Well, we just kind of showed you that, but let's take a look at just this area here. We're going to box this area up here in yellow, so that way we can clearly see the area that we're going to be looking at the 1-minute time frame. So when it comes down to it, we can see that this is a resistance area, right? And this is our support area for this zone. And then we have a minor support turned resistance area. It's going to be really right around here, right? Support, resistance, 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 support, 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 support. Then once it broke it, we started getting that drop, right? So that'll be my only support turn resistance area that we have. And I'll make that pink. That's too close to other colors. I'll make it orange, okay? So now that we have this marked up, now we're gonna look for areas of potential interest based off of, like I said, we're waiting for a break, retest, and then maybe we see an order block or an imbalance, something of interest, right? So we have this happen here. We have consolidation, and then price does not break to the upside. It does break and close beneath the downside here. This candle here closes beneath this structure and beneath these bodies. Immediately after that green candle is followed up with a wick rejection followed by a order block, bearish order block on the 5-minute time frame. So I'm just going to mark this up here. Do orange. Okay, extend it out real quick for us. So now that we have this area, right, we have structure broken, we have a potential area of interest, but not only is this an area where price could come back to based off this order block, what else is here, ladies and gentlemen? We have a potential retest area. So with the confluence of this information that you already have, will you be looking to sell when price action comes back here in the future? And the answer should be yes. If you said yes, you're getting it, right? Now we're looking for that sell. Are we going to be right 100% of the time? No, unfortunately, we're not going to be. But let's take a look. What happens, ladies and gentlemen? Just gonna box it off so we could see. Going to do a vertical line here and go down to 1 minute. Well, would you look at that, ladies and gentlemen? When you go down on the 1 minute time frame, we have confirmation that price is pulling up to our potential rejection area and our high probability order block from the breakout area. So we had confluence, right? We had confluence. So when price comes within this region here, we're looking to take a 3-minute sell. Our entry would have been 420. Price pulled up a little bit higher, came up to 422. And then you see it on the 1 minute time frame. It dropped for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive candles. We've seen price action drop. It stayed beneath entry for 6, 7, and 8 consecutive candles, which is each candle represents 1 minute, representing 8 minutes. Price action stayed below our entry for a 3-minute sell in regards to an RFX binary options trade that we had confluence. We had a good confluence. We had our order block that had slight imbalance, which could have been a high probability block by itself. But we also had this whole zone that we marked up that we were waiting for price to come back, retest, and potentially reject. Now, price did start to reject, but we didn't get clear confirmation that it was going to be a rejection. We didn't get any bearish engulfing candles. We didn't get multiple wick rejections. So we showed short term, didn't enter long, but if we would have got maybe a 5-minute bearish engulfing order block, then we could have looked to sell long term, right? We could have been looking for longer term sells, maybe 15-minute, 30-minute, hour trades, or like I share with you guys, if you are anticipating the market to move in a direction of over the course of the next 30 minutes or the next hour, then as price action creates, if you're in a sell, for example, looking for sells, as price action makes unhealthy movement and creates creates structure, then breaks it, mark these key areas of importance up. So that way, when price action comes to that area in the future, you already know, okay, this is a potential area where price action could react from. Now, once you have this locked in, once you understand the break and the retest, once you understand the imbalance in the order blocks, as you have seen countless of times on previous sessions and all throughout the educational that we have, now you're seeing it all start to come together, and your abilities to recognize certain situations in the market are going to come more often for you, right? You're going to be able to see more opportunities. Your eyes are going to be trained for it. You're going to be like, wow, that's a break and retest, and we created a bullish engulfing order block there. I know when price action comes back to that area in the future, that's going to be a money setup, right? So knowing this, knowing everything that we just shared, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get price action candlesticks and stuff out the way. I'm going to clear it to a blank screen, and I'm going to show you. This is good enough or blank enough for me. I just want to be clear that we all understand. Okay. Okay. What kind of trend is this? Right. This is an uptrend. That is correct. This is an uptrend, right? Market is moving up, creating higher. How can we identify a uptrend? We see that we have higher lows and higher highs. Higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay. Now that's an uptrend. Now sometimes, let's get rid of this real quick. Sometimes the market moves in an upward movement, which is going to be the uptrend. And sometimes the market moves in a downward movement in the form of a downtrend where we're creating lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, and a lower low, right? And that's a downtrend. Now also we have consolidation. Now, if an uptrend is price action moving up and a downtrend is price action moving down, what would consolidation be? Well, consolidation, that's a great question, honestly. The consolidation is going to be what happens when price usually is either stuck in between a support and a resistance and doesn't know where it's going to go. There could be multiple levels of this, right? This could act as support. Again, one thing I need you guys to be open-minded to, there can be levels within levels, there can be zones within zones, there could be Elliott wave sequence within Elliott wave sequence. So when you see these things, and none of that what I just said really matters for this, but if you can actually, I'm talking about Elliott waves and stuff like that, but if you can identify these things, these are just additional bonuses for you to have in your toolbox of things to come at the market with, things that you can add, things that you can add to your trading plan, right? So this would be consolidation. So consolidating market, not really creating higher highs or higher lows or lower highs, just in a range bound consolidation. Okay. Leading up to that, guys, that's going to be it. That's going to wrap this session up. But well, let's go over real quick one more thing. And then I just want to make sure everybody's clear. Okay. Price action rejects here. Does that mean you sell here? No. You wait for other additional confirmation like rejection, or if you're looking for potential buys, you're going to wait for price to break your structure, then come back to your zone, respect it, and then start to look to take it up, right? You're going to want this area held. So on the 5-minute time frame, whatever time frame you're trading on, 15-minute time frame, you're going to want to see confirmation on the less time frames, or on that time frame for that matter. If that's going to be the style of trading that you're going to be trading, you're going to want it to be on that time frame. So if you're trading from a 15-minute chart, you're going to want it to be a 15-minute confirmation, right? Depending on your strategy, depending on your trading techniques, and depending on how long you're going to be in the trade for, all varies, right? And it's all dependent per person, trader to trader, person to person basis. So with that said, guys, appreciate you all. I hope you guys caught some value. Hope you caught some golden nuggets. Break and retest with additional confirmations of order blocks and imbalances. Market structure, guys, alone really could help us all find some decent setups in the market just by recognizing these areas of importance. But with that said, guys, God bless you all. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.